All right, I want to start by giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rekakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to the elect out there. All right, I want to give an update about this fatal shooting that happened to this so-called black airman by a so-called white cop. But this is an update. Now it says in the title, it says cop fatally shot black airman over his aggressive stare. You see that? So the cop thought that the so-called black man right here, which he looks like he's from the tribe of Judah, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you're Israelites. You need to understand that you're in the land of your captivity. Always remember that. You walk among traps and snares. And as you can see right here in this title, it says he shot him over his aggressive stare. So your enemy thought that you had an aggressive stare, and he thought that was a good reason to shoot you. When his pathetic people have aggressive stares all the time. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the scripture, then I'm going to play the video. This is Ezekiel. Let's see. This is Ezekiel 35:5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword. You see, Esau has a perpetual hatred going of old times. He had a hatred of old. In the old times, like it says right here, it says hatred of old. In the old times, he had a hatred for you Israelites, and now he has a hatred for you Israelites. And it's not going to stop until Yahushua comes back and saves us from the land of our captivity, from the hand of our enemies. All right, it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, whose blessing was the sword? Esau. It says, in the time of their calamity, you see, during the time when Israel was fallen, during the time when the Lord was, oppressing Israel, Esau, he played his part. You see, it says, in the time when their iniquity had an end, you see. Let's go get an example before I play the video. All right, this is Ezekiel 25:12. It says, thus saith the Lord, your power, because Edom had dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance and have greatly offended and revenged himself on him, you see. So they always hated you so-called blacks. And look, even during the time of Genesis 27:41, it says, Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherein with his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob, you see. So Esau has always had a perpetual hatred for Jacob, going all the way back to the ancient times. And as you're going to see in this video, he still has that perpetual hatred to this very present day. All right, let's play the video.
Deputy who decided to shoot an airman in his apartment for doing absolutely nothing illegal, nothing wrong. Well, he says he did it because, he had an aggressive stare. With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid. Now back to the show. Let's go to the video and provide the update. Are they fighting or something?
Saying that it happens frequently.
Okay.
But this time it sounded like it was getting out of hand.
Sheriff's office, open the door. Sheriff's office, open the door. Step out. Drop the gun! Drop the gun! He's over there. Drop the gun!
312, shots fired. Suspect down. Do not move!
Most of my technical
To lock
aptitude
here,
was
this
just
stupid
plain
ad.
ECPI University is helping individuals even though
He wasn't a suspect. Put up the picture for a man side by side. Airman Roger Fortson was immediately shot by Okaloosa County Sheriff's Deputy Eddie During. This is in Florida. The Florida Sheriff's Deputy fatally shot the Air Force airman in his apartment doorway. Felt justified based on, quote, a stare, according to a newly released report on the Okaloosa Sheriff's Office. This is the office's internal investigation. Now keep that picture up. This is what he put in the official report. Mr. Fortson did not have time to stare at anybody. A stare is not a glance. It takes time. Something you did not afford, Mr. Fortson. But he did afford you time. The irony is both of you have the same mandate and training to never point your weapon until you detect a threat. He followed his training and kept his constitutionally protected weapon on his side because he never saw you as a threat. But he's at his own home, and you immediately saw him as a threat and decided to put multiple bullets in his body.
Yeah, because that's your enemy. You see, let's get another scripture, then I'll let the video continue to play. You see, your enemy's going to always have a hatred towards you. All right, this is Amos 1:11. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof." You see, they got these Edomites, they have a punishment coming for them. It says, because he did pursue his brother with the sword and did cast off all pity. You see, no pity. That's why he shot him over a so-called aggressive stare. And his anger did tear perpetually. You see, perpetual hatred. And he kept his wrath forever. These devils, they're going to keep their wrath for you so-called blacks, especially you so-called blacks, really for all the Israelites, but especially for you so-called blacks. You're going to keep their wrath forever because they really hate you so-called blacks. You see? All right, let's continue the video.
Duran told investigators the first thing he saw was the 23-year-old's eyes. That's what he said. What he perceived as an aggressive look prompted him to open fire within 2 or 3 seconds of Fortson opening his door. Quote, "When I saw his eyes, I saw aggression," Duran said. According to the sheriff's report, it was a stare that was fixated 100% on me. Not eyebrows raised, not, "Hey, what's going on? Why are you here?" It was a stare that showed me there was aggression. So the officer is saying he shot a black man dead for looking at him the wrong way. Do you understand? This is what the man has put in an official report. Because that Negro looked at me with such aggression, I had to put him down. You know, that actually used to be protected in this nation. If you looked at a white male the wrong way, if you looked at a white woman in particular at all, you could be put down that same day. No repercussion whatsoever. Body cam footage released earlier in May about the sheriff's office, however, appeared to show Duran firing at the senior airman with little warning and no provocation. He did die later at the hospital. The deputy was actually terminated. So finally, the sheriff gets around, terminates the deputy from the sheriff's department May 31st. But that's not enough, says Fortson's grieving family members and friends who spoke out alongside their attorney, Benjamin Crump, in a recent news conference in Atlanta. where Fortune grew up. Quote, I put so many pictures of my baby on social media, his mother, Miss Fortune, said at the news conference, where she spoke glowingly of her son, who served in overseas combat zones and was stationed at nearby Holbert Field. Quote, he would never put aggression in his eyes if he wanted to. Roger was helping to raise a 16-year-old brother. But this was a good man. This tragic incident should have never occurred, stated Okaloosa County Sheriff Eric Aiden in a statement announcing his firing. Quote, the objective facts do not support the use of deadly force as an appropriate response to Mr. Fortson's actions. Mr. Fortson did not commit any crime. By all accounts, he was an exceptional airman and individual. Keep up the sheriff's picture because he does not get a pass on this one. When this first happened, it was the sheriff who came out and said that the deputy was at the right apartment and that his deputy did not hide himself from the peephole. The reality is we still don't know if the deputy was at the right apartment. We assume the answer is no, he wasn't. And while he did not hide himself from the peephole with a hand, he did hide from the peephole by leaving the general area where he could be seen. And Mr. Fortson would be alive today. He would be alive today if that deputy stood where he was supposed to. Why? Because Mr. Fortson would have realized the person knocking on my door like this is law enforcement. There is no...
Actually, that was the judgment of the Lord. You see, the judgments of the Lord go throughout all the earth. That was the spirit of vengeance used. You see, the Lord set these Edomites or our enemies over us to punish us. You see, but that's another lesson for another time. All right, I'm going to end the lesson here. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Shalom.